Denzel Washington doesn't just act with firearms. He transforms them into instruments of justice that define American cinema. While other actors grab whatever props the armorer hands them, Washington personally selects authentic weapons that reflect his character's psychology and training. These aren't Hollywood fantasies. They're precision tools that real operators carry when lives hang in the balance. Today, we're revealing the 11 legendary firearms that made Denzel Washington the most authentic action hero Hollywood has ever produced. Number 11. Winchester Model 1887. The Frontier Enforcer, the Magnificent Seven, 2016. At number 11, we have the shotgun that proves Denzel Washington understands frontier warfare better than directors half his age. In The Magnificent Seven, Washington plays Sam Chisholm, a warrant officer who carries the Winchester Model 1887 like a natural extension of his authority. This wasn't a random prop selection. It was a deliberate choice that reveals character through weaponry.
You know how to shoot that thing? I'm good.
The Winchester 1887 represents John Browning's first successful shotgun design for Winchester. Chambered in 12 gauge with a lever action mechanism, this revolutionary weapon features a 20-inch barrel and weighs 9.25 pounds. The 5+1 capacity provided devastating close-range firepower that made it essential for lawmen facing multiple threats simultaneously. Washington's Chisholm carries this lever-action shotgun because he's a professional who understands that survival requires overwhelming force at close quarters. The 12-gauge shell fires 1¼ ounces of buckshot at 1,200 feet per second, delivering over 2,000 foot-pounds of energy. At typical gunfight distances of 10 to 20 yards, this created a cone of destruction that made precise aim secondary to proper trigger discipline. Here's what most viewers missed. The Model 1887 remained in production until 1901, with over 64,000 manufactured. Washington's use of this specific weapon in a post-Civil War setting demonstrates his commitment to historical accuracy. Original Winchester 1887s in collectible condition now command $3,000 to $8,000 at auction, while quality reproductions run $1,000 to $2,000. Watch Washington's handling technique throughout the film. He's not playing cowboy. He's portraying a man who learned violence as a profession and chose his tools accordingly. The lever action mechanism allowed rapid follow-up shots without breaking his sight picture, a critical advantage when facing multiple opponents. This foundation of frontier professionalism leads us to Washington's first modern sidearm. Number 10. Beretta 92 Syaf S. The Detective's Edge, Ricochet, 1991. At number 10, we encounter the pistol that introduced Denzel Washington to law enforcement firearms, and his handling reveals an actor who studied police tactics before the cameras rolled. In Ricochet, Washington plays Nick Stiles, an LAPD officer whose Beretta 92 FS represents the standard duty weapon that made this Italian pistol an American law enforcement icon.
Alive, and he's here, and he wants revenge because I sent him to...
The Beretta 92 FS chambers 9mm parabellum ammunition, firing a 115-grain bullet at 1,250 feet per second through its 4.9-inch barrel. This delivers 368 foot-pounds of stopping power. Weighing 2.55 pounds with a 15-round magazine, this double-action semi-automatic gave police officers superior firepower compared to traditional 6-shot revolvers. Washington's character carries this weapon because he's a professional who understands that street survival requires capacity and reliability. The Beretta's open slide design prevents stovepipe malfunctions that plagued earlier pistol designs, while the frame-mounted safety allowed officers to carry with a round chambered safely. In urban gunfights where threats can materialize from any direction, those 15 rounds provided a critical advantage. Here's the tactical reality. The 92 FS features a double-action first shot, followed by single-action subsequent shots, requiring officers to master 2 different trigger pulls under stress. Washington's training shows in his handling. He's not jerking the trigger, he's applying smooth, consistent pressure that keeps his shots on target. The Beretta 92 FS served as the U.S. military's M9 sidearm from 1985 through 2017, with over 600,000 produced for American forces alone. Civilian models retail for $550 to $750 new, making this one of the most affordable duty-grade pistols available. Watch Washington's draw and presentation in key scenes. His mechanics reveal an actor who invested time on the range, learning proper grip, stance, and trigger control. This wasn't about looking cool. It was about portraying a cop who respected his weapon as the tool that might save his life. But modern semi-automatics have limitations that classic revolvers address. Number 9. Colt Detective Special, The Concealed Protector, The Pelican Brief, 1993. Number 9 takes us to the revolver that proves Denzel Washington understands that sometimes the best weapon is the one nobody sees coming. In The Pelican Brief, Washington's investigative reporter carries a Colt Detective Special, the classic undercover revolver that defined concealed carry for 7 decades of American law enforcement. The Detective Special's .38 Special. Chambering fires a 125-grain bullet at 900 feet per second through its 2-inch barrel, delivering 225 foot-pounds of stopping power. Weighing just 21 ounces with a 6-round capacity, this snub-nosed revolver provided serious firepower in a package small enough to disappear under a jacket or in an ankle holster. Washington's character carries this specific revolver because he's a civilian who needs protection without drawing attention. The Detective Special's compact dimensions and rounded edges prevented printing through clothing, while the double-action trigger eliminated external safeties that could slow a defensive draw. In situations where threats emerge at arm's length, those considerations mattered more than magazine capacity. First introduced in 1927, the Detective Special became the standard by which all concealed carry revolvers were measured. Colt produced over 400,000 examples through 1995, with original examples in excellent condition now selling for $700 to $1,500. The Detective Special's 2-inch barrel sacrificed velocity compared to 4-inch service revolvers, but the shorter sight radius and reduced weight made it practical for all-day concealed carry. Washington's handling demonstrates his character's civilian status. He's not conducting tactical reloads or performing speed draws. He's carrying insurance against a specific threat, and his body language reflects that psychology perfectly. But investigative work sometimes requires more firepower than a snub revolver provides. Number 8 is SIG Sauer P226, the federal standard, the Siege, 1998. At number 8, we have the pistol that FBI agents actually carry, and Washington's selection reveals his commitment to authentic federal law enforcement portrayal. In The Siege, Washington plays FBI Special Agent Anthony Hubbard, whose Sig Sauer P226 represents the service weapon that became legendary among special operators worldwide. The P226 chamber's 9mm Parabellum, launching a 124-grain bullet at 1,150 feet per second through its 4.4-inch barrel, delivering 364 foot-pounds of energy. Weighing 2.1 pounds with a 15 or 20-round magazine, this Swiss-German pistol provided the reliability that made it a favorite among elite units. Washington's Hubbard carries this weapon because he's a federal agent who demands absolute reliability under extreme stress. The P226 features a double-actioned single-action trigger system with a decocker instead of a manual safety, allowing agents to carry with a round chambered while maintaining multiple layers of safety. The stainless steel slide and aluminum alloy frame provided durability without excessive weight. Here's what separated the SIG from competitors. When the U.S. military tested pistols to replace the 1911 in the 1980s, the P226 outperformed the Beretta 92 FS in reliability testing, but lost due to cost considerations. The Navy SEALs adopted it anyway as the MK-25, and FBI special agents followed suit. That real-world validation made it the perfect choice for Washington's federal agent character. SIG Sauer has produced over 1 million P226 pistols since 1984. Current production models retail for $900 to $1,200, reflecting their premium construction and proven battlefield reliability. Washington's training with this weapon shows in his malfunction, drills, and tactical reloads. He's portraying an agent who's logged thousands of rounds on the range. But federal reliability meets its match in street survival. Number 7. Heckler & Koch, USP, The Corrupt Power, Training Day, 2001. Number 7 brings us to the weapon that revealed Denzel Washington's darkest character, and the pistol choice was absolutely perfect. In Training Day, Washington's corrupt detective Alonzo Harris carries a Heckler & Koch's USP, the German tactical pistol that represented cutting-edge law enforcement technology at the turn of the millennium. The USP's 45 ACP chambering drives a 230-grain bullet at 890 feet per second through its 4.4 1-inch barrel, delivering 405 foot-pounds of devastating stopping power. Weighing 1.9 pounds with a 12-round magazine, this polymer frame pistol provided serious firepower in a surprisingly manageable package. Harris carries this weapon because he's a corrupt cop who demands maximum stopping power for the street warfare he's created. The USP's polymer frame reduced weight by 30% compared to steel frame pistols, while the cold hammer forged barrel provided match-grade accuracy. The recoil reduction system incorporated into the slide assembly decreased felt recoil by 30%, allowing faster follow-up shots. Introduced in 1993, the USP represented Heckler & Koch's entry into the law enforcement market, dominated by Glock and Sig Sauer. The ambidextrous controls and modular trigger system allowed customization for different shooting preferences and duty requirements. Washington's character has modified his USP with aftermarket sights and trigger work, revealing a man who treats his weapons as precision tools of his criminal enterprise. Here's the psychological insight. Harris doesn't carry a standard issue Beretta like honest cops. He carries a weapon that projects power and sophistication, just like everything else about his carefully constructed persona. The USP retails for $700 to $950 new, with used examples running $500 to $700. But Harris's corruption required more than just a modern semi-automatic. Number 6. Smith & Wesson Model 29, The Executioner's Choice. Training Day, 2001. At number 6, we encounter the revolver that defined Detective Alonzo Harris's moral corruption, and Washington's weapon selection reveals character psychology that most viewers completely missed. In Training Day's most infamous scene, Harris produces a Smith & Wesson Model 29, the .44 Magnum revolver that Dirty Harry made legendary 3 decades earlier.
I'm the police! King Kong ain't got nothing on!
The Model 29's .44 Magnum chambering fires a 240-grain bullet at 1,400 feet per second, delivering 1,047 foot-pounds of devastating energy through its 6.5-inch barrel. Weighing 3 pounds with a 6-round capacity, this end-frame revolver represented maximum handgun power in 2001, exceeding even the 45 ACP automatics that Harris normally carried. Here's what makes this weapon choice brilliant. Harris produces this massive revolver during a staged execution, using its intimidating presence to terrorize Jake Hoyt into compromising his integrity. The Model 29 wasn't chosen for tactical efficiency, it was chosen for psychological warfare. When you're forcing someone to make an impossible choice, you do it with a weapon that looks like destiny itself. Smith & Wesson introduced the Model 29 in 1955 as the most powerful production handgun in the world. That title held for nearly 3 decades until the introduction of even more powerful hunting revolvers in the 1980s. Clint Eastwood's use of this revolver in Dirty Harry created such massive demand that Smith & Wesson couldn't keep up with orders for over a decade. Washington's handling of this massive revolver shows his character's familiarity with serious hardware. The .44 Magnum's recoil exceeds 50 pounds of force, requiring proper grip and stance to maintain control. Harris handles it like he's fired thousands of rounds, which tells you everything about his background in violence. Original Model 29s from the 1950s and 60s now sell for $1,200 to $2,500, while current production models retail for $900 to $1,300. But Washington's most iconic role required weapons that reflected righteous vengeance. Number 5. Glock 19, the professional's tool, man on fire, 2004. Number 5 introduces us to the pistol that serious operators actually carry, and Washington's selection demonstrates his understanding of professional protection work. In Man on Fire, Washington plays John Creasy, a former CIA operative turned bodyguard, whose Glock 19 represents the most successful combat pistol in history. The Glock 19 chambers 9mm parabellum, firing a 124-grain bullet at 1,150 feet per second through its 4.02-inch barrel, delivering 364 foot-pounds of energy. Weighing 1.47 pounds with a 15-round magazine, this compact pistol provided full-size firepower in a package 30% smaller than traditional service pistols. Creasy carries this weapon because he's a professional who values reliability above all else. The Glock's polymer frame, safe action trigger system, and simplified design featuring only 34 parts made it virtually maintenance-free. Special operations units worldwide adopted the Glock because it functioned flawlessly in desert sand, jungle humidity, Arctic cold, and saltwater environments that destroyed lesser pistols. Here's the tactical reality. The Glock 19 occupies the perfect middle ground between compact carry pistols and full-size service weapons. It's small enough for concealment under civilian clothing, but large enough for accurate shooting under stress. Washington's Creasy carries it in a pancake holster on his right hip, maintaining constant access while protecting his principal. Introduced in 1988, the Glock 19 became the world's best-selling pistol with over 15 million produced. Current models retail for $500 to $600, making this the most affordable professional-grade pistol available. Washington trained extensively for this role, learning professional bodyguard tactics and weapon retention techniques. Watch his shooting technique in the film's action sequences. He's using proper index shooting at close range and sight-aligned fire at distance. This wasn't acting. This was portraying a professional operator who lived by his weapons, but handguns have range limitations that only long guns overcome. Number 4. Remington 870, the rescue tool, man on fire, 2004. At number 4, we have the shotgun that transformed Denzel Washington from protector into avenging angel. And his weapon choice was tactically perfect for the urban warfare he unleashed. When Creasy begins his systematic war against the kidnapping syndicate in Man on Fire, he arms himself with a Remington 870 pump-action shotgun, the most successful combat shotgun in American history, and the weapon that defined close-quarters dominance for over 7 decades. The 870's 12-gauge chambering fires multiple payload options, but Washington's character uses standard double-aught buckshot loads, launching 9 pellets of .33 caliber lead at 1,200 feet per second. Each shell delivers over 2,000 foot-pounds of devastating energy, creating a cone of destruction measuring 30 inches across at typical room-clearing distances. Weighing 7.5 pounds with an extended magazine tube holding 7+1 rounds, this weapon provided overwhelming firepower for the building-to-building combat that Creasy's vendetta required. Creasy chooses this specific shotgun because he's conducting a one-man war against multiple adversaries in close-quarters urban environments where precise shot placement becomes secondary to immediate threat elimination. The Remington's pump-action design proved significantly more reliable than semi-automatic shotguns when firing various ammunition types, from standard buckshot to breaching rounds to less lethal munitions. This mechanical simplicity meant zero malfunctions when Creasy needed absolute certainty that his weapon would function under catastrophic stress. Here's the psychological warfare element that most viewers missed. The distinctive sound of the Remington's action being racked became an audio signature that announced Creasy's arrival like the wrath of God himself. Enemies heard that metallic clack-clack and knew death had entered the building. This wasn't accidental. Creasy used acoustic intimidation as a tactical tool, forcing adversaries into panic that degraded their decision-making before the first shot was fired. First introduced in 1950, the Remington 870 became the best-selling shotgun in history, with over 12 million produced across 7 decades of continuous manufacturing. Military and law enforcement agencies in over 60 countries adopted it as their standard shotgun, validating its combat effectiveness across every environment, from Arctic conditions to desert warfare to jungle operations. The 870's elegantly simple design, featuring only 4 major components, made it virtually indestructible, functioning flawlessly in conditions that silenced lesser weapons. Washington's handling throughout Man on Fire reveals Creasy's extensive military background and special operations training. He's conducting tactical reloads under stress while maintaining situational awareness, using cover effectively without exposing himself to counterfire, and maintaining proper barrel awareness in confined spaces, where friendly casualties become risks. Watch his technique when clearing rooms. He's using proper pieing methods and fatal funnel awareness that reflected genuine close-quarters battle training. The film's master armorer trained Washington in professional tactical shotgun techniques for 3 months before filming began, and that preparation shows in every frame. He's not Hollywood racking the action for dramatic effect. He's performing proper combat reloads and mechanical manipulations that reflected decades of muscle memory. Original Remington 870s in police configuration sell for $300 to $500 used, while new tactical models retail for $400 to $650. But Creasy's Righteous War demands its versatility beyond shotgun range. Number 3. Kimber Custom TLE2, the Equalizer's Precision, the Equalizer 2014. Number 3 brings us to the pistol that revealed Denzel Washington's most lethal character, and the weapon selection was absolutely perfect. In The Equalizer, Washington plays Robert McCall, a retired intelligence operative whose Kimber Custom TLE2 represents the ultimate evolution of John Browning's legendary 1911 design. This wasn't just another action movie pistol, it was a precision instrument that reflected McCall's obsessive attention to detail and surgical approach to violence.
Everybody settle now. Frank tells me you're the man, Andre. Yeah?
The Kimber TLE 2 chambers, 45 ACP, driving a 230-grain bullet at 880 feet per second through its 5-inch barrel, delivering 396 foot-pounds of stopping power, weighing 2.5 pounds with an 8-round magazine. This precision-built pistol provided match-grade accuracy in a combat-reliable package that could function flawlessly after thousands of rounds. McCall carries this specific 1911 variant because he's an operator who demands absolute precision under catastrophic pressure. The TLE designation stands for Tactical Law Enforcement, indicating features specifically requested by elite SWAT teams and federal tactical units who operated in environments where failure meant dead hostages. The tactical-grade Meprolite tritium night sights provided instant target acquisition in zero-light conditions, while the match-grade stainless barrel and precision aluminum trigger delivered the accuracy needed for hostage rescue scenarios, where millimeters determined life or death. Here's what separated the Kimber from standard government-issue 1911s. While traditional military 1911s maintained 4 to 6-inch group accuracy at 25 yards, the custom TLE DIS-2 delivered consistent 2 to 3-inch groups with quality ammunition. For an operator like McCall, who calculated every variable before engaging, that precision transformed a gunfight from chance into mathematics. The weapon's enhanced extractor and external extractor provided reliability that exceeded military specifications by 40%. Kimber introduced the TLE series in 2004 in direct response to requests from elite tactical units who needed precision that standard-issue weapons couldn't deliver. The company's reputation for match-grade production standards and hand-fitted components made their 1911s the choice of operators who refused to compromise when lives hung in the balance. Each TLE-2 underwent individual test firing and accuracy verification before leaving the factory, ensuring performance that lesser manufacturers couldn't guarantee. Washington trained extensively with this specific pistol, investing hundreds of hours mastering the 1911's single-action trigger, thumb safety, and grip safety mechanisms. Watch McCall's shooting technique throughout the film's action sequences. He's conducting Mozambique failure drills, shooting accurately on the move, and making precision headshots under extreme time pressure while maintaining perfect muzzle discipline. This wasn't Hollywood fantasy with unlimited magazines and impossible accuracy. This was portraying an operator at the absolute peak of tactical proficiency who understood that perfect practice created flawless performance. The Kimber's bushingless barrel system provided match-grade accuracy while maintaining field-strippable simplicity. Current TLE-2 models retail for $1,000 to $1,300, reflecting their precision manufacturing and premium components. But McCall's precision required more than just accurate hardware. His true character emerged through weapons that reflected decades of calculated lethality perfected through countless operations. Number 2. Charter Arms Bulldog. The Gangster's Power. American Gangster, 2007. At number 2, we encounter the revolver that defined Denzel Washington's most complex anti-hero. And this weapon choice revealed character psychology that most viewers never understood. In American Gangster, Washington plays Frank Lucas, whose Charter Arms Bulldog represented the ultimate street weapon of 1970s Harlem. The Bulldog's .44 special chambering fires a 200-grain bullet at 900 feet per second through its 3-inch barrel, delivering 360 foot-pounds of devastating close-range power. Weighing just 21 ounces with a 5-round capacity, this compact revolver provided serious stopping power in a package small enough for concealed carry. Lucas carries this weapon because he's a criminal businessman who understands that reputation requires occasional demonstrations of overwhelming force. The Bulldog became infamous in 1977 when serial killer David Berkowitz used one in his crimes. But the weapon had served as a favorite of criminals and undercover cops for years before that tragic association. Charter Arms introduced the Bulldog in 1973 specifically for the .44 special cartridge, which provided near .44 magnum power in a shorter case that allowed compact revolver dimensions. The stainless steel construction and shrouded ejector rod gave reliability and concealability that made it perfect for street operators who needed serious power without carrying a full-size weapon. Here's the historical context that makes this weapon choice brilliant. Frank Lucas operated in Harlem from the late 1960s through mid-1970s, exactly when the Bulldog emerged as the premier conceals carry revolver for serious operators. Washington's Lucas carries it in an ankle holster as backup to his primary weapon, revealing a man who always maintains Plan B, original Charter Arms. Bulldogs from the 1970s now sell for $400 to $700 depending on condition. The company ceased operations in 1996 but was revived in 1998. Current production models retail for $400 to $500. Washington's portrayal captures Lucas's calculated approach to violence. He's not a hothead who pulls weapons in anger. He's a businessman who uses violence as a tool of commerce, and the Bulldog represents that cold professionalism perfectly. Watch his body language when handling this revolver. He treats it like a necessary evil, not a source of pride. That subtle choice reveals everything about Lucas's psychology. But Washington's most iconic weapon choice required stepping into post-apocalyptic mythology. Number 1. Desert Eagle .50 AE. The post-apocalyptic legend, The Book of Eli, 2010. Here stands the firearm that made Denzel Washington immortal as an action icon. The Desert Eagle chambered in .50 Action Express from The Book of Eli. This isn't just a powerful handgun. It's the physical manifestation of survival in a world where conventional rules no longer apply. Washington's Eli carries this massive pistol because he's the last protector of humanity's salvation. The Desert Eagle's .50 Action Express chambering drives a 325-grain bullet at 1,450 feet per second through its 6-inch barrel, delivering 1,518 foot-pounds of devastating energy. This makes it the most powerful semi-automatic pistol in production. Weighing 4.4 pounds with a 7-round magazine, this Israeli-designed hand cannon provided rifle-level power in a pistol package. Eli carries this weapon because he's traveling through a wasteland where threats include mutants, raiders, and cannibals. The 50 AE cartridge delivers enough energy to defeat body armor and stop attackers instantly regardless of shot placement. When ammunition is scarce and every encounter could be your last, you carry a weapon that ends fights with a single shot. Here's what makes the Desert Eagle perfect for post-apocalyptic survival. The gas-operated action required less maintenance than traditional locked breech designs, while the polygonal rifling provided superior accuracy with cast-lead bullets that survivors might manufacture themselves. The fixed barrel design delivered accuracy comparable to target pistols, allowing precise shots at ranges where lesser pistols became ineffective. Introduced in 1982, the Desert Eagle became an icon of maximum handgun power. The 50 AE chambering arrived in 1991, providing performance that exceeded the 44 Magnum that had dominated for 3 decades. Current production, Desert Eagles retail for $1,800 to $2,200, making this one of the most expensive production pistols available. Washington trained extensively with this massive handgun, learning to control its substantial recoil and leverage its precision for accurate shooting. Watch Eli's technique throughout the film. He's making one-shot stops at distances where other characters need multiple hits. The Desert Eagle's power allows this economy of ammunition that reflects Eli's calculated approach to violence. The weapon's chrome finish in the film served dual purposes. It reflected the harsh desert sun, creating a visual signature when Eli drew, while also resisting corrosion in the extreme environmental conditions. This attention to detail separated good action films from legendary ones. Washington's Eli doesn't spray bullets. He aims deliberately, fires precisely, and trusts his weapon to deliver catastrophic terminal performance. That relationship between operator and tool elevated the Book of Eli from standard post-apocalyptic action to something approaching religious parable. The Desert Eagle became Eli's instrument of divine justice, delivering judgment to those who threatened humanity's last hope for redemption. Denzel Washington's legendary Firearms reveal a truth that separates great actors from immortal icons. The weapons a man chooses define not just his capabilities, but his character's very soul. From the frontier justice of the Winchester, 1887, to the apocalyptic judgment of the Desert Eagle, 50 AE, each firearm tells the story of Washington's uncompromising commitment to authentic character development. What sets Denzel Washington apart from every other action star in Hollywood history is his genuine respect for firearms as tools of storytelling. These weren't just props grabbed from an armorer's rack. They were carefully selected instruments that reflected real tactical thinking, professional training, and psychological complexity. From corrupt Detective Harris's power-projecting HK-USP to bodyguard Creasy's workmanlike Glock 19, each weapon completed the performance. Washington succeeded where other actors merely carried guns because he understood authenticity isn't about looking tough. It's about respecting the tools that shaped history and the men who wielded them with deadly purpose. Whether facing down corruption in Training Day or protecting the innocent in Man on Fire, his weapons became extensions of moral authority that elevated every scene beyond simple action into compelling drama. The evolution is clear. From early roles with standard police Berettas to complex characters wielding everything from classic revolvers to desert hand cannons, Washington's Firearms chart his journey from respected actor to legendary icon. Each weapon reflected not just the era of filmmaking, but the maturation of an artist who refused to compromise on authenticity. But here's what separates Washington from everyone else. He doesn't just master the weapons, he becomes their living embodiment, transforming steel and lead into instruments of justice that transcend the films themselves. Long after the credits roll, these weapons remain what he made them, symbols of professional competence, markers of moral authority, and tools wielded by characters who understood that with great power comes absolute responsibility. Which Denzel Washington weapon defined your image of action cinema? Drop a comment below with your favorite, and let us know if you want to see a deep dive into Washington's tactical training for these roles. Hit subscribe and that notification bell for more authentic deep dives into the firearms that built Hollywood's greatest legends. Until next time, remember that in the hands of Denzel Washington, every firearm becomes an instrument of justice. That's not acting. That's becoming the legend itself.